Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Baz, WELDERFABBER. Today we're going to start this chapter. Well, we might as well talk about this pin that I forgot to film on camera the other day when I went out to a job. This is actually off a low loader ram, that the ramp at the back end of the truck, where the ram locks in underneath the chassis. It was locked. I'll try and put a bit of footage in the corner of the screen that I filmed on Instagram. Everything I do film on Instagram, by the way, daily stories. So I had to lance that pin out, I had to lance another pin out, and I had to lance the pins out within the bosses. That's the roll pin that holds the pin in that were broke. So I had to make a temporary pin out of a 12.9 big 35mm bolt that I had on the van. Now then, this is actually 38mm, which is 1.5" bar. So, and it is quite soft, because I belted it with sledgehammer, and it like you could see it like bending over dead easy. So I knew how soft it was, but it was locked in solid. See how it's got the little grease lines, so it'd been lacking a little bit of grease. So I've just gone to the phone to my little father, and he's going to knock me some pins up, 200mm long, 1.5" wide, and I'll have a lock hole in it, 20mm back, and a couple of roll pins. And what we'll do, we'll go back to the unit and we'll change both pins on both sides of the truck. So today, we've got a new computer. I don't think you guys have seen this. So we've got a new computer. Mainly I was struggling doing things on the iPad. I had my iPad here. Obviously we're building slowly, aren't we? So I had my iPad, so we just got a new computer now. We want to be able to put all the software on for the plasma table downstairs, and I need to be able to upload and send files, which I was finding it difficult to do on the iPad. And today I want to service blue. Basically, in the back end of blue, we're having a few issues with the shelving. The shelving's starting to, it's dipping where the drawers are, basically because there's too much weight in the drawers. And I did this exactly the same as the last van that I had, and they snapped over time with metal fatigue. So we're going to go over to Manchester, we're going to upgrade the shelving, but before we do that, I'm going to pull the welder out because it's due its service. It's done 270 hours since its last service. I like to service them on every 250 hours. Now people let them go way over that. I wouldn't advise that. 250 hours on a Scania, definitely all day long. So we're going to pull the welder out of the van in a minute. We're going to give the van a good clean out. Then we're going to fly over to Manchester. Callum is actually off this week on holiday. We've got Sam in doing the Chapter 8 frames for Max Civils. We've got a couple of buckets that we need to do some alterations to. So I've kind of wound the work down a little bit this week to allow me to do things like this and to basically get the shop in shape. And I pulled the director in to do a bit of filming, so let's see if it makes it any better with a director in doing a bit of filming. Let's go start on the van. So this is the base of a Chapter 8 frame. Now you will have seen these on previous chapters. This is upside down at the moment, so the forks can drive underneath, and then it'll have two posts going up for the Chapter 8 frames to sit in. Not frames, barriers. Sam's doing them. Alright, so he's tacked them together, he's welding them up, and then he'll have the upright post to put on shortly. But I'm going to pull my van in now, Sam, and I want you to see me lift pulling the welder out. Alright? Yeah. So we'll just back the van into the workshop now. We do have a reel, an air reel that's fastened to the top of the welder, and the welder is bolted through the floor, and the exhaust goes through the floor, as you will see in a moment. So we'll pull all that out, and what we'll do, we'll run the welder, get it up to a bit of temperature, and then leave it to drain the oil out whilst I go over to Manchester and do some upgrades to the shelving. Right, so let's take a look at the van now. You never know, some viewers might not have seen in the back of Welder Blue. So this is the power source. 300 amp Shindawa, 3-phase, 240, 110, running at 8 kVAs. Alright, so it does run the air out, 8 millicarbons, with the compressor running at the same time. If you look in the back director, we have a 3 horsepower compressor running on the 3-phase, 100 litre tank. We have the little Warrior MIG that usually stays in the van all the time, but I will take that out as we're going over to Manchester, because if you look at these shelvings, there is clips missing. There's clips missing off here, and if you look at that gap there, don't know if it's hard to see on camera, but this bar here is starting to bore like a banana. Now over time with metal fatigue, it'll snap here, and all that'll drop. In fact, in the other van, the whole shelf fell off one time, right, but I've managed to fix these in a lot better fixing positions than I did with the old van. So at the moment, we'll just take the generator out, we'll disconnect the exhaust, we'll disconnect the air reel, we'll take the 4 bolts out, and we'll take it all out in one hit. Right, so before I take the Warrior out, there has a couple of comments I've noticed talking about the Warrior welders, yeah. Now the Warrior welders are not a sponsor. Alright, this is just something that I use and I swear by them. Alright, so that's 330 amp. You can run 330 amp at 8 kVAs, no problem. You can run them on 1mm, 1.2, you can run them on flux core wire. Alright, now then, I've never had an issue with one of these welders. You do have to keep them covered up in the rain, like you saw in one of the videos down in the quarry. And I do run it with this Arc Technology torch, M4. Now then, these torches don't get hot on the neck. Right, so you can do a full day hard facing with these torches. You won't go through a tip. Tips last for days. Right, whereas on some other brands, you go through tips in no time, and they get super hot on the neck, and you can't hold it with one hand, or 2 hands, should I say, if you've got a hand on the neck. So I'll just take that out of the van, get it out of the way, because we are going to do a bit of an upgrade on this bottom section here. Give the camera back to the director. I always keep it fastened in, and I always put the brakes on. And talking about sponsorship deals, you know, you might see me sponsoring a few things. I will only ever sponsor something that's really good, right? Now you see me sponsoring the Holy drink. That is especially good, right? If you've never tried Holy, I really recommend that you try Holy. But as far as everything else goes, you know, it has to be right, it has to be good quality. I mean, the stuff that we've been offered, I mean, plasma cutters and welders and all kinds of stuff that we've been offered for free, yeah, and money, to put it out there, and e-bikes, you know, stuff that's nothing to do with the welding trade. I'm just not interested, yeah. So I will only sponsor stuff that I'm actually interested in personally, and that's good for our job, welding job. So basically what I'm trying to say is I do turn down thousands, and I mean thousands of pounds on sponsors, yeah, because I don't want to look like an advertisement company. I do want to keep it as real as possible. And like I say, I will only sponsor something that is good and useful to our trade, or useful to me personally. Also, if you look at the air supply in the van, I have a socket there where you can plug an air line into. But what I'm going to do, that reel at the front, that corner reel that we have round the workshops, so REM compressors, Ben from REM, I'm going to get another reel fitted here. I'm going to try and get hold of one of them today, and we'll get it plumbed into the van properly. Because I'm running an extension at the moment from the back, but that's only 10 metres long. I want to be able to run 30 metres out the back and use another 10 metres if possible. Right there. Back bolt's out? Right, pull it this way towards the plug of this front, Sam, so I'll just put a bit of lock on. That's it. The main reason for taking it out of the van, the oil filter is in this side. All right, so we need to take this panel off. Now then, believe it or not, a lot of people only change the oil without changing the filter. How crazy is that? Yeah? So always pull it out of the van, change the oil, change every filter that's on the machine. So we'll just get this panel off now so we can show you the oil filter. Got little Sam helping me. Sam, the reason why I want you to watch what I'm doing now is because in the future I want you to be able to do this on your own. You know your way around engines, don't you? So this is a straightforward service, no messing. All right, what we'll do, we'll also get the air line and blow everything out before we take the filters off. So I'll get an air line over. So this is the oil filter. Come around the other side. The exhaust connected up and goes through the floor of the van. We've got a rear filter up here, and we've got a fuel filter here. All right, so what I want to do now, I want to start it. These are my new filters, by the way. Let's put them in there. I'm just going to fire it up, give it a bit of heat, turn the revs off so it doesn't rev up. When it fires, there's the director with the Shindauer half on. Little Kubota engine. We've gone for genuine Kubota filters. Just let that warm up for a minute. Blow it out now, Sam. Blow it out. Come on. The reason why I'm blowing it out before we take any filters off, obviously we don't want any muck to get in where the filter's positioned. Right, so we're on 1900 hours. So the last service was at 1525 in my diary. So I've let it go over a little too far there. But between 250 and 500, but I'd recommend 250. Right, so now that the oil's warmed up a bit, it'll come out of the machine faster. Is it a 19, Sam? The good thing about these, the good thing about these is the, no, this will be all right. Everything's here for you to do it within the van, but obviously you can't because you've got to get to your oil filter at the back. All right, so we'll switch the fuel off here. Yeah, drain the oil. Give that tank, Sam. Might need some grips. No, I've got it.
What, the yellow bin?
Yeah. So you run, we have to run generators on white diesel now. I'm just seeing what muck's in there. We have a spring at the bottom. So we'll give that a good blow out. that filter's no good. So watch that spring, Sam. That spring has to go back in before the filter, yeah? Give that a good clean out. And to drain the oil, take the filler cap off. Let's just see what oil's in it. Yeah, fine. So it'll come out faster when you take that off. Yeah, the oil will just drain out of here now. Whilst we go to Manchester, we'll leave it draining. See how it comes out slow. Take the cap off, it'll come out a little bit faster. Yeah. And then that will take a good half an hour, really, to drain properly. Here he is there, Dano. Hey, Dan. When this episode comes out, or should I say chapter, we will have left Hurt Plant 6 months ago. Yeah?
Proper job.
6 months ago, so 6 months ago we decided all to go together, didn't we? Me, the director, and our Dan. I think it's a bit of a milestone.
I know, yeah.
6 months, but we've actually been in this unit for 5 months. And look what we got. Oh no, just had a call, the bandsaw's in.
Oh, thank God for that.
The bandsaw's in, we can either go and pick it up tomorrow or I can get it delivered tomorrow.
We'll get it delivered tomorrow.
Get it delivered tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah, we need to.
Right, so Jonathan, who we bought the bandsaw off, who owns Clarence Jones Machinery, him and his father, he wants to do an install on it and basically to show us all how to use it.
Yeah.
Right, 100%. Which is ideal for us, isn't it? Yeah. Sentimental value, he had a bit of a do at me, yeah, because I shouldn't have got it really, you know, it's one of them things, isn't it? But, lesson learnt, we'll get the new bandsaw, hence why we've not made any of the rollers. You know, people might have been thinking in the background, why have they not made any rollers yet for that saw? That's why we've not made any rollers for the saw.
It's over there.
We got the roller, we just don't know the height, although we could have got the specs. But we've not had time anyway.
No.
We've not had time anyway.
I think we need to get Cal and Tab in over at weekend and get all things, get all rollers made up.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Now then, what I am going to start doing, we're going to start introducing Dan's jobs more on camera. I'm going to give Dan a DJI. Guys, let us know in the comments if you think that's a good idea. We've got Joe and Trav here. Joe's been on site for the last 3 weeks, haven't you, lad?
Yeah. Longer than that.
Yeah, it's been like, what, 3 months now?
3 months.
Like
3 months.
3 months.
How many straight days did you do, Rick?
26 days.
26 days and 12-hour days?
Yeah, pretty much.
Proper grafters. Proper grafters
Well,
now.
I'd have said 13, 14 nowadays myself. Anyway.
Well, that's what we were booking.
Is it?
I weren't allowed on site any longer than that.
You're not?
12 hours limited, yeah.
12 hours, yeah.
So you can see these frames that our Dan's making. There's a load of these that went out the other day to galvanisers that weren't on camera. We had to stay late one night and load them whilst he was on holiday again in France.
I just went away to Paris for a few days. Got to take family away sometimes, you know.
Well, it's school holidays, isn't it? So, so this week will be a good week, Dan, because if the saw comes, we can get all that boxed off and we can start sort of munching through saw. Trav, you got Angus saw now, haven't you? So you can be the saw man.
He's a saw man.
Trav's the saw man. Yeah.
We'll have to bring Kev back in and get him to teach him.
Old Kevo.
Old Kevo, yeah, he was a good saw man.
Yeah.
Top boy Kev. I need to get him down actually. I'll give him a bell.
Yeah,
we're 70. We're 70 other week.
Yeah, he's a
13.
really good fabricator. He's really good on saw. So that's everything that we're just taking out of the van. So now I'm going to fly over to Manchester, do these bits with VCL. Director, I think you should come with me, yeah? You want to come with me? Yeah?
Where are you going?
We're going to do some upgrades on the shelving van.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, all right. That welder needs to go back to Addington.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
So
we'll drop it off footwear.
I could do if you want.
Yeah.
Over to?
Yeah, if you can, yeah. You might as well. It saves me a job. I can't pull it up back at this go, can I?
Yeah, I'll take it to Addington. Yeah.
Sounds.
Right, we'll drop this off. We'll leave that draining. We'll go and do the mods. Sam, you continue with them. Do you know how to put the uprights on? Right, I'll go through that with you now off cam. We'll set a time lapse up for you anyway. You just bang it away for you guys to see. All right? Right, let's go Manchester. Oh, oil filter. We'll bang the oil filter off now. See if it'll come off without. Might need grips or not. Might need some grips on it. Well, yeah, big grips. Well, you reckon you can do it?
Oh, let me have a go.
Come on.
Have you tightened it up with grips?
Does it need some grips?
Yeah.
If his monster hands can't do it, it definitely
Needs some grips.
Told you it needed grips, didn't I?
Well, just must be fun trying to open it.
Right. Come on, let's go. Alright, so here we are at VCL in Manchester. Now, and these guys did the van for Max Civils, if you remember, a few chapters back. So I thought, whilst we're doing a service on the welder, I'll just do a little bit of mods on the shelving. Now, this is Wayne, who actually came down to our workshop and put the board in the Max Civils van. So Wayne, just tell us what you're going to do to this.
So, we've got the shelves are starting to, the drawers are starting to dip here. So what we're going to do is fasten through the top, put some T-tracks in, along all the shelves. Then along here, we're going to put some T-tracks here to hold the shelves together. And then underneath, we're going to put a strengthening bar across the middle, and then go into the floor either side, and then on this bar here we're going to fasten to the draw units to stop it actually bowing, and maybe put another one in it as well.
What do you think going down from there to the floor? Or do you not think it needs that?
I don't think it'll need it eventually.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll need it.
Because in the last van, I mean, the whole lot came off one time and it snapped here. It snapped here. Obviously because I've put too much weight in the drawers.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I've done it, you know what I mean? But obviously got metal fatigue, and I actually stood in the back of the van while somebody was driving it, and the drawers were out all the time. Whereas this, I put aluminium sides in it. If you look at both sides, we've got aluminium sides.
Yeah.
So all the racking and everything is fastened to the aluminium and to the side of the van. So you've not got any movement like that when you're braking.
It's just your drawers what I mean.
Yeah, it's just the weight. It's just the weight of it. Do you know what I mean? So we just need to beef it up. I think Craig's got a drawer for me as well. Yeah.
Yeah, put
Not a drawer, a little flip thing.
a little flip down front,
Yeah.
and we've got a pull out as well.
Has he got me a pull-out drawer?
Pull out drawer, isn't there, or something?
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I might be treating me then. Now then, for those that don't know, VCL do kit out vans, and they do use this module system stuff. This is what they do, fit in, day out, yeah? I will never use anybody else now. Now that they've done a few jobs for me on a few vans, I'll never use anything else. On my vans moving forward, I'll buy this off them and fit it myself and make the bench. But for other people, I would recommend these guys to anybody. Alright, so what I'll do, I'll set a little bit of a cam up,
Yep.
or should I say the director will, and let's see you do your thing.
Yeah.
Alright?
Sure.
Right, so that's it, boxed off. So, look how neat and tidy that is now. Got myself a little drop down row there to finish that off. We put extra bars in underneath here. You can see there, one in the middle and one at the back. So that's took all the sag out of this now. There's no sag in this at all. Remember it was sagging before. And what are these called then?
T-tracks.
T-tracks.
Yeah.
So we've got plenty of T-tracks in all the way down.
T-tracks all the way down, across the bars as well, holding the bars in what you didn't have before. And we've put some
Do you know something?
T-track and bolts
That's
through.
something we've missed off when we put this together.
Yeah.
Right, because they actually came with it, yeah, I remember them, yeah. Yeah, they've just not been put on. We've had this drawer put in as well. So that's pretty cool. We'll just take that out with us, over one side. Yeah. Perfect, Mom. A little bit of everything now. Now we'll get back, fill the welder up, get it back in. And also a nice little event to for you guys watching. Cheers, Wayne. Cheers once again, my man.
Thank you very much.
I'm pretty sure I will be seeing you again and your gaffer. Alright. Not showing too much direction. back in the workshop. I'm liking this little drop down door. It'll stop stuff falling out from where that wheel arch is. And all them little extra connectors on there. Hang on. Right, so we'll start putting the oil filter back on now. Just give us a bit of that oil sound. Put a little bit of oil around the seal. Oil filter on. They don't need to be too tight, these. Just hand tight. That's tight enough. Alright, now then that panel can go back on. Yeah, hang them in there. I might as well drain the water. The antifreeze looks good in it. Antifreeze looks good in it, but I just like to do it anyway. Alright, so we'll put the drain plug back in. I'll just put that in for now. Just put that on there for now. We'll put 10W30 oil in it. Doesn't need to be synthetic oil, just 10W30. Put that drain back in. I've already put the diesel filter in. Nice and clean diesel there. Maintenance, look after your machines and they'll look after you. Yeah, just nip them, yeah. Yeah. So, just drain the antifreeze. Right, so I took this little panel off here just to show a few people who might have a Shindower in the van a little trick. Come round this side, director. So when they're in the van, you see this exhaust here? You see how it comes down like this? It comes down and goes up. That's because when they're out of a van, right, and if rainwater comes in here, it drops down here and comes out of a hole there. Can you see that there? And a hole there to stop it going into the silencer. Right, so when you've got them in a van and you know there's no water going to go into that hole, fill them holes with weld. Otherwise, it fills the van with smoke. Right, and the van gets all like black inside with the smoke. So that panel could now go back on, Sam. Another 10 millis. So like I said, 10W30. They take 4.5 litres, these. So I'll just bang 4 litres in to start with. And see where we're at on the dipstick. So that's bang on 4 litres. Drain back in, locked up. Water drain back in. What we could do, if we take the cap off the engine. So we'll take the air filter out first. We've not done the air filter yet, have we? So that's your air filter. Right. Not too bad, but it's only done 300-400 hours, hasn't it, that? If you take the cap off, it just allows the oil to go in a little bit faster. It usually fills up to around this point anyway. I'll get a filter in. That just pushes up and clips on. Cover. Comes on nice and tight. Now then, if you look at the oil, that's 4 litres in there. Right, so I'm just going to crank the engine over because there's no oil in the filter. If the filter was going underneath like that, you could fill the filter with oil first, but you can't on these. The only other way of doing it is put the oil in from the top, but it's a pain to get to. Just going to crank it slowly on and off. Hang on, water first. I'm going to put some water in it, haven't we? We're just going to put pure antifreeze in. So it's going down, so it's just filling the filter up. Right, director, you might as well get yourself off. We'll give this a good clean, put it back in van, I'll set the camera up, and I'll do a little walk around with DJI when we finish, yeah? So that's it, the Shindauer back in, run up. Had it running for 10 minutes, up and down the revs. No problem. Just make sure there's no airlocks in the fuel. Recheck the levels. So it is quite low hours really, considering it's a 2018 model. 1,906 hours. Highly recommend one of these if anybody's looking for a generator welder, 300 amp, 8 kVA. So I've got this little drawer fitted. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this yet, if I'm going to use it at all. But it's one of them that you can put bits and bats in and take away with you. Just a nice little feature that I thought I'd add to the van. All these little clips will stiffen it up a bit. That should have been fitted originally anyway when we'd done the van. And we've got extra supports underneath that now to stop them from sagging with the weight. Weight I do want to check. We're usually running around 4.8 tonne, but at the moment I think we're probably running around 4.5 tonne. The way it's loaded at the minute. There's quite a few slings and jacks and stuff that I don't keep in it anymore. I've only got one jack in there really, 120 tonne jack, jack there. You can see the boxes are low, where they're usually full of stuff. So basically I just take things to site with me as and when I need it. The Warrior, I tend to keep it most of the time, but again, not all the time. We do use that in the workshop sometimes. And I do want to check that out on site, running on the Shindauer. That's a little plasma cutter with a built-in compressor that's here on demo, along with that 400 meg. So yeah, that's how you service a welder. Or should I say, that's how I service a welder. A lot of people might do them at 500 hours, maybe more. 250 to 500 maximum, in my opinion. Tomorrow we will fit a reel here. So we've got a reel coming out the back, the same as the one at the front. Ben ordered it this morning from REM Compressors and it'll be in tomorrow. Well, just looking down them shelves you can see they're a lot straighter than they were before. Well, maybe you can and you can't on camera, I'm not really sure. Anyway, our Max is going back to Canada tomorrow. So we're going to go and take him out for some tea, a bit of a family tea tonight. And he's going to go and see if he wants to spend the next couple of years in Jasper. I think he's got another visa for another 1 or 2 years. He's got a girlfriend over in Jasper that he's not seen for months, so he's going flying over to Jasper tomorrow. I'll take him to the airport at dinner time tomorrow. So we're going to go and take him out for some tea tonight with my brothers and a few other members of the family. So we went out last night and had a good curry, me and our Maximus over here. And now we're just heading over to Manchester Airport. As he's going back to Canada. Where are you flying to, Max?
Edmonton.
Edmonton. And we're just stuck in a bit of traffic on the M6 here now. And he doesn't know what he wants to do when he goes back to Canada. So he has actually been working. I know you've not seen him on cam, but he has actually been working for the past 3 weeks for DTM, my brother, yeah. on site, putting 2 staircases up. Because our Dan's been that busy and not been able to get all the lads. We've even been helping him out as well, off camera. So yeah, he's going over to Edmonton. He's going to meet his girlfriend, yeah, Kinsey.
Yeah, go over to Edmonton for a bit, stay there whilst I make my plans. Want to go back to Jasper again. The ski hill's getting back open, so I want to work on the ski hill again and do what I love, skiing.
Yeah, so skiing. So, I'll get Max in cam for you there. So skiing, that's what he originally went to Canada for, to be a ski instructor, and then he started driving the locomotives, yeah. And then from the locomotives, there was the wildfires, weren't there? And then you ended up coming home. But he has actually been offered a job in Japan to be a ski instructor in Japan. So what's your thoughts on going there?
I didn't want to do it this year. I got offered to do it this year, and they said I could push it back till next year, next November. I feel like it'd be a good next step if I'm not sure what I want to do. I can go to Japan, work in Hokkaido, work with a ski team, or eventually potentially lead a ski team there, which would be really cool with Club Med. So there's lots of options at the minute.
It's just all good things to add to a CV for a young person. You know, it's like he's come back here, he's come to work for us, he's done his CSCS, he's got his CSS card, and just another string to your bow, I'd say. But yeah, I don't know when he's going to come back. It's his visa runs out
Next
November, so he could be gone for another year. So I just thought I'd get him on camera before he goes, because it's my son. And at the end of the day, you've only really made it in life when your children want to come and see you when you get old. Remember that. Yeah. You know, I mean, I have a little princess Bella, who's she's only 10, and she's spoilt to death. And her mother goes mad at me for spoiling to death. I'm not with her mother, by the way, yeah. But you know, I think it's only right. I mean, what do you think? Should I spoil her or not?
Yeah, she's a daughter.
It's my daughter, yeah.
Only got one life.
You know, I lost my dad. I lost my dad in a motorbike accident, and I just feel like she should have everything that she should want, and she shouldn't really need anything. But you know, she has to learn the value of money, and which I will teach her over time. But as far as clothes go and things that she needs, like iPads, iPhone and stuff like that, and fancy clothes, I mean, I don't think you should at a young age, a child at a young age, put a value on clothing. Yeah, I might go to Trafford Centre and buy her a Montclair hoodie for 300 quid, yeah, and her mum will go mental about it. I'm like, don't look at the price tag, yeah? I'm just buying her nice clothes. There's nothing wrong with it, in my opinion. What do you think?
Just a kid, you know. What does it matter at the end of the day?
Just a kid, it doesn't matter. But if I wanted to have nice clothes, you can have nice clothes. But anyway, I just want to get Max on cam before we go, and before he goes. And then I'll get back to the workshop, because Sam's on them chapter 8 frames. We've got a couple of little buckets that I need to sort out. And yeah. Alright, Spud. I shall see you when you get back, or shall I say the audience will see you when you get back.
So you want to see you?
Yeah. We're just pulling off now. I'm going to go into Manchester Airport. Right guys, so we've just got a little digger coming in here now. A little Chinesian digger, should we say. What's your name, bud?
And my name's Andy.
Yeah. What's happened here?
Yeah. Well, I did buy this digger. I looked at a JCB one from the UK, and they're about 26 grand. And I thought I'd give this a go. First ever digger, and straight away I've probably learned too much on it, but wasn't greasing it enough. I'm probably using it for stuff that it shouldn't be getting. You know, I'm knocking houses down with it and digging my whole yard up. And yeah, we just pushed it a bit too far, to the point where the actual chassis snapped. So the company in China, fair play to them, they've said they'll send me a new chassis, but it's going to take, you know, 50-60 days before it gets here. And obviously when everything breaks is when you're on the job with it, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I was halfway through digging a trench and it snapped, so I need to get this trench dug for the...
So basically what you're telling me is this has been a little tester digger for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've given it some abuse. You've learned a lot from using it.
Yeah.
You've learned not what to do, basically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is what a lot of people do. And now it's failed. But looking at that we're going to fail at some point anyway.
Yeah, you reckon?
Oh yeah.
Poorly
Look, I mean, you can just look at how thin that material is there, 15 mil, and how little material there is there in that space. Do you know what I mean? I mean, you're going down to 30 mil there. If you tried hacking that off with a grinder,
Yeah.
yeah. It's also snapped the
to show obviously what was needed doing.
yeah. It's also snapped the rod, the end of the rod. Why is it not connected up?
That's just the hydraulics, I think.
Is it?
Come along, yeah. I told one of my lads to disconnect the hydraulics so that we could get access to this.
Right,
and he
would you?
disconnected everything. So I've had to reconnect these ones and guess which one was. I did actually put it on and it'd work forwards and backwards, but it wouldn't turn.
Right, would you?
And then I realised that obviously I'd done the wrong way around, swapped them, and I've done enough to get it on. However, even this blade is loose at the minute.
Right, okay.
That's why it's on a piece of plank to get it up.
Yeah. Right, well, what you could do is just ratchet strap that up.
Yeah,
Up
that's
to
right.
the-
Yeah, I didn't run out of ratchet
Up
straps.
to the frame. Do you know what I mean? Them little ratchet straps you just unmixed it with.
one of them.
Just tie one of them up to it now and that'll be right. Yeah. So if you get us that ram, we'll fit that new ram as well. Alright, and we'll just make a new plate, probably up the thickness of that material. Alright, gouge all this off, put a new plate on, knock that pin out, get that off and re-weld it on. Alright, bud.
Yeah.
How quick are you looking for it for?
Well, like everyone, isn't it? Soon
Yeah,
as
as soon as possible.
Yeah, next week will be sound.
Next week will be sound. Right.
I didn't know whether this was too small for you.
Listen,
I'm
we'll
used to
do
watching,
anything. It doesn't matter what it is.
Used to watching this
Any,
time.
anything that pays the bills.
Yeah, true.
Do you know what I mean? But I'll be honest with you, I prefer to be working on diggers than on steelwork. So anything to do with diggers and plant machinery is what we want to be working on. You know? So Callum's actually off on holiday at the minute, but we can get this stripped down and sorted. I've got a few jobs in before it, but do you want to pull it off?
Yeah, that's
All
right.
bud. Sound. A big Dave. So we've got a catwalk coming here from Preston Scania that we need to alter to fit a newish Scania, a newer one that it's come off anyway. We might have to move some of these slots. And I'm just on with changing an edge on this bucket for Maximals. And Sam's on with the Chapter 8 frames for Maximals. And that's one loud digger. Whoa, bud, put it out of there somewhere. put it down there or something.
I was concerned with you filming with me big lawnmower.
Well, go on then, just run through controls with us and I'll sort it.
So obviously battery
Yeah.
on, obviously the key swing with this, you've got to hold it for like a few seconds. When I first got it, I was like trying to start it going.
Yeah. Just got to keep your hand on it.
You've got to keep your hand on it. So.
Dave, you can drive this. Straight up. So that's a little 22-inch bucket, that, probably off an 8 tonner or something. Just a quick edge replacement. I've got a bit overkill there because I only had that in stock, a 25mm plate, but it'll be fine. Fill the gaps in so no muck travels through. Using the X5P. This is my MIG, WELDERFABBER. amps, bolts. Proper bit of kit that. So that's for Maximal. I'm going to go and pick that up now because I think they're pushing for it, and pick a few frames up that Sam's on with at the same time. Now these catwalks I just mentioned before, I might look at making these from scratch. I think there might be a market for them. But I'm going to look into it into more detail. But that'd be, Callum would like making stuff like that. You know, we could make them right smart as well, couldn't we? And do other stuff like behind the cab on units. Something for me to think about anyway. I might crack on with that, but I've got a bit of pricing to do upstairs and some emails to go and sort out. When I'm down on shop floor, you'll be surprised how much phone calls goes on when it's in the pocket that I miss. So that's Sam just finishing the chapter 8 frames off, and I've just fitted a new hose reel within the van, 20 metres long. Cheers to Ben at REM Compressors for sorting that out for me. Also just cut these little walkways down, catwalks for back of Scanias. So we are heading over to Preston Scania in a minute to fit this over a grid that I'll go into more detail when we get there. Okay, so just at Preston Scania. That's our little Sam. That's the plate that we profiled on the plasma. And what we're trying to do basically is stop a lot of muck going into the drain, into the interceptor tank below. So that had a open mesh flooring on it like this, over that point there. Obviously the water has to, and the muck has to go into the interceptor. So we're trying to reduce the amount that goes in, and also from that point to the drain, which is over there on the floor. We've got a pipe running down there on the floor, which I'll show you in a minute, but we're going to put this down in the drain, which is about 1 metre down. So basically we're trying to stop as much muck going into the drain as possible and into the interceptor. I think this will be a massive help. So what the lads will have to do is just clean this off once a week. Quite a good idea actually. Should work, should. Bit of paint on that now, Sam. Yeah. So as you can see now, that will stop a lot more muck going down there into the interceptor. And what they're actually doing at the moment is digging out and putting muck like this into it to stop muck like this going down the drains, yeah? So every garage outfit that washes machines or trucks has to have an interceptor tank. You have to be below certain levels of contamination going into the drains. Now then, Preston Scania are going way over the top of you by doing this. Like a lot of companies don't even have interceptor tanks. So that pipe there runs from there down here and into here. So again, we're going to go over the top. So I've made this plate, and that will go in there like that and sit at the bottom. Yeah, with that basically welded on it. So it covers that pipe at the bottom, which is the pipe that's coming from over there. So Sam's just making a little handle at the moment because this is like a metre down in the ground. And we'll weld the handle onto this to make it easy to get in and out. Now then, when the environmental people come to test, they'll test in that pipe there. So that's why I've left that open like that, to make it nice and easy for whoever comes to do the testing. All they do is put like a little cup down and take samples and see how much oil is actually going into the ground, which will be very little here. But I can guarantee you at a lot of places it won't be. There'll be a lot of oil going into the drains and muck. You right, Sam? We're just going to make a little T-handle here, look. And we'll just weld this to that plate to maybe make it nice and easy to come in and out, which you'll see in a minute. Fire weld up here. Right, so as you can see, we've just knocked up there. Lift it up, Sam. So that is blocking the pipe at this side, at the bottom there, at this side. Just sit it in, Sam, like that. Turn it.
Perfect.
Beautiful. You can't really see underneath that, but you can see what we're achieving, can't you? By blocking the pipe coming in this way and allowing anybody to get any samples they need to get from there, and also making it easy to get out. Not a bad kid there, Sam, was he?
Alright, Anna.
Not a bad kid, son. I'll get that wrapped up. Job done. So I've just dropped Sam off back at the workshop, and I've just come up to Howard Stott Demolition, and here's his son Ryan.
How's it going?
How you doing, bud?
Good.
What's going on here?
Not ask.
Don't ask.
Where do we start?
So we've got a demo machine here, 352 cat, and some of the links have split, or one of them in particular.
Yeah, they found a few pins that have cracked as well.
A few pins.
Yeah.
What, within the track chain?
Yeah. And they're going round, they found a few different ones that are failing. And obviously one of the links is split in half.
How many hours on it?
It's only done 500.
500 hours.
Yeah, it's not done a lot with the short arm on, it's mainly had the high reach arm, it's not even done that much tracking about.
So at the moment it's got the short arm on. Yeah, and you switch it over to the big arm. How often do you put this arm on?
That's what it mainly is used for. We put the short arm on to lift that, and you know, we move it with the short arm on.
Right. I think your dad actually wants me to make something to transport this, doesn't he?
Yeah. It's quite a lump. It's just an awkward thing because we know with the weights offset on one side. It's just a nightmare.
Yeah. So looking at that now, I think what Howard is thinking for me to build basically a trailer or something for that to sit on, or a frame for that to go on, like a skelly trailer or something. Is that right?
Yeah.
Something like that, isn't it?
Yeah, because we have to put that on the loader separate, so it costs
Yeah.
a fortune just to move
Yeah.
that, and you can't move it on the machine because it's too heavy.
Right. Anyway, that's one job. We've got this little Cabelco.
So you want some track cleaners putting on these, because they don't come manufactured with these. Caterpillar do, but the Cabelcos don't. So
Brown finer, isn't it?
yeah, it's only 100 hours. Got a few of these. They're quite good machines. A good value for money.
So track cleaners, what Ryan means is, I'll show you these here on this cat. So on demo machines, these stop like rebar going underneath the machine and damaging the belly pan basically of the machine, don't they? In fact, they do a good job, don't they?
If you've got the back of the machine and the rebar comes up and you can't see it, it just stops all the side of the machine getting scratched, bends it down, and then it'll pull underneath. But if you didn't have them on, it'd just key and score all down the side of the machine. It's got a lump of concrete on as well. We've had it before where they've not had these on. It's the rebars of the lump of concrete on, dragged underneath and pushed all the belly plates, and the floor actually lifted the floor up in the cab, and the driver didn't notice it until late.
Yeah, I've seen it myself many times.
So
Many times.
They're worth it.
So we could make some for that Cabelco, pretty straightforward. I mean, a similar design to these coming off the track frame. The only issue with the Cabelco would be where the drives are, where the drive motors are. So let's just have a little nosy at the back end of this machine now. So if you look here, because this has got narrow tracks on it and quite a wide track frame, you can see how you got all that material to go off to make something, to fabricate a piece. Yeah, so let's look at the back end of this. Well, it's only a little 13 tonner, is it this? 13, yeah.
It's 13, but these do all the work, these do all the cleaning up, so they're always here, there and everywhere running about.
Yeah, so you see, you might have to either come off here or come off the actual frame back there.
Yeah, on there.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can weld it on top of there, if you could, just to keep the thing further back, so it.
So it wants to be as close to this end as possible, really, doesn't it? Doesn't want to be too far into the track frame.
No, because it'll already hit the digger then.
Yeah.
A bit like here, you'll have to come up with some design. But like my old man was saying, if we drop the digger off in your workshop, you can come up with design, for this, because there's 4 others of these to do that we've got, and then once you've done your design, then you can just fit them all. Come out to the job.
So there's 5 to do altogether.
Oh, is there 5?
There's 5, 4 or 5.
Well, there's this and the others, so yeah, there's 5 then.
Right, so.
Yeah, if you do this first in your workshop.
So we're going to drop it off for us, that's even better.
Yeah, you can do it right then, can't you?
Yeah. So we'll get the first one right, get all the dimensions that we need, and then do the others when the others come in.
Step as well on that side, but not straight. You can do that while you've got it there.
A step.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah, something now, that will sort that out. Suspense up a little bit. And pulled.
Straight, do that while you've got it in your workshop.
Yeah. Was there something on Conveyor as well?
Oh yeah, one of the brackets at the back where the mesh is. It's been caught, so we can't get the mesh down to keep it clean.
He's got proper OCD, you're a man, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Look how clean everything is, but this is how it should be.
We look after it last then.
Yeah, of course it does, yeah.
So obviously as the conveyor's gone up, this is down, so it's either been done tracking about, or they've lifted that front up and this has gone down and bent it in, but you can't pull the mesh
So is this
down
filling
now.
up with material?
Yeah, so what's happened is it's been filling up and all the gear's been building up behind the belt and it's been puncturing the belt.
Has it?
Yeah.
Right.
So
Right.
it's quite important, but I think like if you straighten that, might just leave that off.
I mean, if you're, depending on what site you're on, leave that. Well, I'll straighten that out for you.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
right.
And then when the conveyor is running, if you can, leave that down.
Leave it off and it'll just drop straight out.
Yeah, leave it off.
So that was captain, you can just drop it out.
It's very similar to what we had at Hurt Plant in the yard, except this has got a mag belt on it.
Really good bit of kit.
Yeah.
Use like 5 gallon a day, and you do away with a machine and a man, and it'll
Yeah.
sit there all day. You can just lift the stacker up, turn it 10 foot, and you can keep crushing all day again. But like that, if that's running in concrete gear with rebar in, like, after day, I'm taking a grab pull away from that.
Yeah.
And it does. You'd be surprised what it picks up.
Oh, no, it's a belting idea. I think your dad come up with that idea, didn't he?
Yeah.
There's not many people got them.
No.
We conveyors with a mag belt on.
It's a proper job. They put the skirts down the side as well, all the way along, right up.
Yeah.
That was a bit of a request we did. And the mag belt.
Yeah, well, we'll sort that out as well, no problem.
You don't need that in the yard as well, do you?
Nah, that's only an half an hour job, that, straightening that. Is there anything else?
Well, main thing that you come for, my skip truck. My baby.
So Ryan has a little skip company, don't you? What's skip company called?
Rent a skip, Manchester. I do skips around Manchester.
Rent a Skip Manchester.
Yeah, I do groundworks as well. So I want something which you can't really buy, no one does. You to design me a plant flat for a chain skip that I put my mini digger on, take my mini digger with me, and obviously put like a roller on or whatever else. You know, I can put
So
like
basically,
a
you want me to make like a roll-on, roll-off type body
yeah,
that you can just lift on with the chains.
yeah, no one does that.
Right, that's quite a good idea.
Yeah. So
You don't want it to hook in there, right?
no, don't need to tip. It's just to carry materials and the machine. I want it with an headboard on, so I can leave my buckets on and leave the machine strapped. If I come back and just take it off, and it's all there on the flat ready. Just hook it back up and away we go.
That's a nice little job that for us, actually. So I will make like a flatbed, if you will, with a headboard. We could put different lifting points on it till we find the centre of balance where it needs to be when you've got all the weight on it.
So if I've got my buckets at one end, I'll have to work out where to put the machine so it don't swing, because obviously with the skips, if they're loaded at the front, sometimes doing an exchange they try and swing back over.
Right.
I've not done it yet, but pretty
Yeah.
close.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So this is something that you want us to crack on with, yeah?
Yeah, you can measure up and get it as long as what you reckon.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it doesn't look daft. And ideally, I want to put a 4-ton mini digger on the back of here.
Right.
It'll carry 6.5 ton. So.
And that'll pick it up all right, will it?
Oh yeah, it's plated up to lift 8 ton, but it can only carry 6.5. But I only want it to carry the 4-tonner, the 2-tonner, and the 4-tonner.
Right. That's easy enough, mate.
Put in a trailer behind, you know, to take a 4-tonner.
Yeah.
Put it on the back.
How long have you had this? It just turned up?
I've actually had it 6 months, the truck. It's been down in.
What was it, chassis cab?
Yeah, I bought the chassis cab off Darfin Travel Park, and it's been in Suffolk at this Webb body manufacturer, and they've made it exactly how I want it.
So that's to your spec?
Yeah, all bespoke. They do whatever you want, really good, and I mean you can see the finish.
Yeah, it does look good actually.
Done
Really
a
good.
cracking job of
Good
it.
paint job
really
on
good
it.
to deal with, yeah.
Mm.
So we had the sheet system put on the headboard, just pulls out, nice, easy and simple.
Yeah.
Like the electric ones before, and they don't last 2 minutes.
So they're not?
No, that's just on a big coil spring, that, like a blind, pulls out. Put all my bits on for hanging the chains up in the bar,
Yeah.
all my lashing points, and then obviously we've had this idea with the plant flat now.
Do you live in house here as well? What?
I live in Caravan round back.
I just look at heli hanger there. Huh? I'm gonna get Howard to take me out at Ellie soon.
That was the old A barn, that.
Was it?
Yeah, it used to be old A barn on telegraph poles, because it was my dad's uncle's old farm.
Yeah.
And that was the slurry pit.
Was it?
Yeah, actually in front of there, but we filled it all in. Yeah, it was
Beautiful,
an old
isn't it?
A barn. Yeah, it took some doing.
Beautiful.
Took some doing.
Let's just show you the scenery around here. If you've not seen it before, because I've been up here with the cameras before, here's the helipad. What's this area called?
Hapton.
Hapton, that's it. Hapton.
That's Clitheroe over there.
Clitheroe over in that direction. Right. What a clean yard.
Didn't used to look like this though.
Did it not?
No, I think we're a right mess. This is all under here.
Hollow under the floor?
Yeah. You can't drive on here with wagon.
Is it not?
No. Because
Oh.
it was really deep, this. This used to be a slurry pit.
Right.
So we filled it in, and well, if you come to end, you can see how high it is. We built it up. It's only just.
So you can't
Real
drive
helicopter.
you can't drive an Erik wagon?
No, just sit weight, you know what I mean? Not much come
I'm
out.
just looking down now, yeah, right with you.
You know what I mean? We built it right up.
Might not be able to see that on cam, I'll see that is. Beautiful. Anyway, let's get tape out and measure back of this truck up, eh? And that little cabell core will come down to us
Yeah, we'll bring that down on Tuesday or whatever.
next week.
Yeah.
Next week. Alright, right?
Yeah, sound.
Nice to get you on the channel.
Thank you.
Howard's just landed with this SK130 cabell core. Now we can make some little templates up for the track frame and then make the rebar guards. We've also got CH plant unit in, beaver tail that we did the pin on. So fitting a temporary pin to the back end of this beaver tail. And that's the pin there with the roll pin in it. Exactly the same as this pin. That all been made for us. So we'll keep this as a spare in the wagon in case you have any other issues, because all the other pins are the same in the rams. Including that pin. Oh, it's good to have an excavator back in the workshop. So just for those viewers that don't know what rebar track guards are, I've done a little bit of a sketch there. That is a 50mm plate. I'll put 3 M24mm bolts in it and we'll weld it to the track frame. So it will be 180mm long, so it'll just stick out just past the tracks to allow that. That's your track there, if you can see that bit of a sketch. We'll put a 20mm plate up there and we'll put a 30mm plate going across the top of the track, so that will basically just slide in there. So really all we need is 4 of them blocks to be made, drilled and tapped, because at the drive end we can just weld that block on top here. So it'll be on a bit of an angle. All we'll have to do is adjust the holes on that end plate there. So yeah, you will see this in the next chapter. Like I say, it's good to have a machine in the workshop. I do want to be working on machines more than steel work. Steel work, yeah, was my passion years ago, but it's not my passion anymore. My passion is excavators, crushers, screeners, anything to do with quarry work. So yeah guys, cheers, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, hit that notification button, and I'll catch you on the next one.